So for this video, guys, we're going to look at Cover 3 Cloud, but we're going to run Cover 3 Cloud out of two different plays. We're going to look at the actual Cover 3 Cloud, and then we're also going to look at the cornerback dog zone, because one's a Cover 3 Cloud to one side, one's a Cover 3 Cloud to the other. So we're going to hit them both in the same video. So let's talk off with Cover 3 Cloud to start off with. What I like about Cover 3 Cloud, it's a lot of a bait type of coverage, right? In this situation, you can see we have a hard flat on the right, we got a cloud flat on the left. You could always keep the hard flat there, and you see how you have cloud coverage, basically meaning that we're going to be able to have our player go ahead and do the cover 2 to the right and cover 3 to the left. So we can run this basically same disguises. So we'll do the stack first, and you can see here with this, you're really trying to get them to kind of throw down to the sidelines and be able to hit the hard flat. A lot of times if you're doing that, you're going to do both sides hard flats. You could always do one side, basically curl flat, and then you can do the other side if you want to hard flat, but you're going to have to do it individually. However you want to do it, you've got that ability. If you want to do it the opposite way, and you want to put this guy on the hard flat and leave the cloud flat on the right side, you could do that as well. But you want to do the same exact thing here. A lot of times what's vulnerable is going to be the left seam. So as you can see, what ends up happening, and I did this for a reason, is, I made sure that this guy right here, the Y, Humphreys, he's going to be able to hit that seam because this guy's going to the middle, right? And we want him in the middle. That's basically how it is. So a lot of times if you want, you can man up this player right here and kind of make sure that he's going to cover that initial seam, and then you can use this player, right? You really don't have too much to worry about there because you're going to cover the A on the seam, and then you're going to kind of rally down. So that's definitely an adjustment that you can do. This guy can be man up on any player, right? So I feel like this is one of those plays that you've got the ability to really, for the most part, have a free defender. If a lot of times people are doing routes like this to where they're putting somebody on a flat and in, it'd be nice to be able to man up the in. You know that the hard flat's going to go out there initially, the in's going to pick them up. Now you're using this player, right? So it really doesn't give you any type of tell on who you're going to use or who you're not. You can do the opposite. You could do this where you're putting this guy over there. You could put this guy on a hard flat, and you can use this player. Now, if you're using this player, now you can go and, start off with the seam, rally down to anything underneath. Typically speaking, I'm going to feel more comfortable using somebody on the cover 2 side because of the fact that you're not going to get as much of a ability to get burned. So maybe I'll cover this guy, and maybe I'll just use the user this guy, right? You've got a lot of options when it comes to these cloud flat coverages that you're going to be able to do it, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and get out of this. I'm going to show you the next look. And I just want to make sure that you understand what you should be doing out of it and what you're looking at. The next look, we'll go ahead and look at the base, right? The base would basically be base align, shift left, right? This is our base look. Now, again, if we want to do hard flats, you got the hard flats right there. You're good to go. You could pick either one of these players to kind of use to your benefit. If you're doing a hard flat to the right, you could definitely do something like this to where now you're doing a curl flat, now you're doing a Mabel coverage over there. Well, one's going to go low, one's going to be going higher. And when this guy's going this way, a lot of times he's going to take away the A on the seam right away because of the way he's doing it. You really can't hit him right off the bat. And then you user this guy. So you can definitely do Mabel coverage over there. That's definitely an option. Like I said before, we can definitely man this guy up and user this guy, right? That's one of those deals that we've talked about in the past as well. Definitely different options. Now, the second look, what we did was we told you about the ability to move this guy down and move this guy over, right? So let's make sure we do it. This is going to be called the double edge look. And this guy should stay. I don't know what he's doing right now. And with the double edge look, what I like to do is I definitely like to user this player. That's almost a given when I'm doing double edge look. That way I have control over him. But with that sense, maybe what you want to do in that instance is put the guys in clouds and put this guy in a hard flat, knowing that, I don't have to worry about the right side of the field at all. I just have to worry about the intermittent middle or anything that's coming from right to left underneath, because the cloud flat's not going to cover any type of drags initially, right? So basically, in that type of sense, if they're doing something like this to where they're dragging somebody that way, and say they're doing something like this type of route combination, right? We know that the cloud flat is going to do a good job of rallying deep, but nobody's going to get that underneath coverage. So basically what I would do in this situation is I'm just hovering, and then I know that this guy's going to go this way, and I'm going to be able to kind of cover him, right? Now, it is something that you need to make sure that nobody's coming across the middle as well, because your middle is going to be your main concern. Now, with this type of defense, I want to make sure that you know that I do like to move this guy up. If I can move this guy up a little bit, and what ends up happening is he's going to cover that spot for you a lot. And also I like to put the X on a deep half. That way I kind of pinch everybody towards the middle of the field. And that's going to help you with any type of middle crossers. Now, again, if you want to do something like this to where you go ahead and you put this guy in a mid-read, then move him down, that's really going to help you with making sure that you can go ahead and roam anywhere, right? Because you know that that guy is going to be kind of covered a little bit. Just want to kind of give you a little bit of options of how you want to go about this. Typically speaking, you're going to have to worry, if you want to do this and you want to do the hard flat, you can definitely just do that exact same thing. Just move this guy over a little bit so you're not getting, beat right away over to the right-hand side. And you know that you're going to have a pretty good opportunity of just basically covering, basically underneath and letting the guys kind of go, right? It's kind of one of those deals to where you need to cover your first threat across the middle. I should have covered that running back across the field, but for the purpose of the video, I wasn't going to go run all the way down the field. But I want to make sure you understand when you do these type of coverages, you want to make sure that you give the different looks. The last look is the cover, is the look where you're going to start off with crossfire. And when you start off with crossfire and audible into a cover 3 cloud, which I want to make sure that I'm not even sure if I put it in my audibles. Let me go double check real quick. I'm just going to pick it this way. Do I have it in there? Okay, I got CB Dog Zone, all right? And I need to talk about this one anyways, all right? We talked about this being a cloud flat zone, and it is. When we go ahead and we put this guy on a cloud flat, now we've got that ability, right? And what you're going to see here is that you've got these guys unstaggered, right? So, basically I'm putting them baselining them. And what you're going to see is that you got that opportunity a lot of times to do underneath coverage. And you've got the ability to put this guy as a cloud afterwards and really have some opportunity to get to the quarterback this way as well, right? If you do any line adjustments, you'll lose this guy, which is okay if you want to use this guy as your hard flat player and then use this guy as a user. You can definitely do that. You've got a lot of options when it does this, right? Especially when you go ahead and you do something like this. They don't know if you're sending the house or you're not. A lot of times, if I'm doing this, they're blocking their running back. So I know if they're blocking their running back, I can send the house. If you feel like, you might want to set this up a little bit in the beginning, because if you're sending the house like this, you're going to get the dual edge heat, right? Well, if they are blocking their running back, then what you'll see here when you do something like that, where I'm going to dog zone, I'm shifting left, I'm moving this guy over here, and I'm crashing up, right? You definitely want to make sure that obviously you're putting this guy on a cloud flat, and you're moving this guy down here, right? Now, if you want to make sure that they maybe know that they can't block it, so they want to make sure that they put somebody in the hard flat, it's really, really tough, even if I'm only sending one side here, that if they look to the right first, and that time I didn't put the guy on the hard flat, I thought I did. Let me try this again. I left him on blocking. If they go ahead and let me show you basically what I'm talking about here. If we're in CB Dogs there, we're shifting left, we are moving this guy over here, we're crashing up, we're putting this guy on a hard flat. And for a defense, we're leaving that RB on his thing, right? So they're saying that they're basically knowing that they can't block it. So what they're doing is they're sending 5 out. Well, in this situation, sending 5 out, you're going to be able to at least go ahead and get that guy off the edge. And they really don't have a whole lot of spots to go to. And we'll get into that into the blitz videos. But with this type of defense, you want to just make sure that you show all the looks. So cover 3 cloud has the cloud going to the right. When you do cover 3, cornerback dog zone, you're going to make sure that no matter what look you give, and this is the stack look, that you go ahead and you put this player here on the cloud flat, and then you basically have the ability to really get everything else. If you want to, blitz that guy, you can blitz that guy, and now you're using just these guys. You've got a lot of coverage, right? And that's what I want to make sure that you see, is that you've got the ability to really have some fun with the adjustments here, to kind of say, you know what, I got the right covered, I got the left covered, now I got to do this. Now, if I don't like the seam route, I can do that. If I don't like the seam route right here, I can do that, and I can cover the B seam. You want to make adjustments based off of this, but you want to make sure that you show the looks, so when you're ready to dial the blitz, the blitzes are going to catch them off guard.